Hello, you're tuning into VTV News live from Hanoi. I'm Michael Liu with the latest headlines coming your way. Greater Mekong Sub-Region Forum kicks off exploring ASEAN business opportunity. Vietnamese enterprises looking for options to take advantage of possible TPP agreement. And later on, a blood storage project saves lives in remote areas. Now, first off, the 2015 Mekong Conference kicked off today in Laos. This year's event is aimed at exploring investment opportunities and economic collaboration in the Greater Mekong sub-region in the ASEAN Economic Community. The event is organised by Vietnam's Ministry of Planning and Investment and Vietnam-Laos-Cambodia Association of Economic Cooperation. This is an opportunity for businesses in the sub-region to exchange knowledge and discover potential for business offered by the AEC. The trade bloc is expected to become the 7th biggest economy in the world, with a total GDP of around $2.4 trillion. Now, the Trans-Pacific Partnership gives enterprises the chance to cooperate with each other and participate in the global supply chain. According to experts, building connections among businesses is a way to avoid risk and take advantage of the agreement. More to follow.
This company has invested in facilities to prepare for the TPP. Thanks to working with ranchers, scientists, and other enterprises, the company's products can compete with meat products imported from other TPP member countries in terms of price.
Our company has worked with scientists and ranchers to ensure output for farmers. We've worked with supermarkets, restaurants, and hotels to distribute our products. This has helped the company reduce costs and control hygiene.
For wood export, the TPP requires a localization rate of 55% or more. In other words, enterprises can import at most 45% of its input materials, including outsourcing parts. However, it is difficult for Vietnamese enterprises to meet the requirement because over 80% of timber still comes from abroad. In order to cope with the issue, businesses have built the raw materials area.
Our company has 14,000 hectares of forest in the harvest cycle. We get wood from 1,000 hectares each year. After the harvest, we plant more trees so that we have enough wood for production and to sell to other businesses.
According to experts, cooperation between enterprises and other parties also helps enterprises take advantage of the TPP.
If Vietnamese businesses can produce goods with high level of processing, it will help agricultural export products. Vietnam's rice export markets like Malaysia and Mexico prefer high-quality products.
Competing with the stable and developed economies of TPP member countries is the motivation for Vietnamese businesses to cooperate with one another, thus improving the competitiveness and involvement in the global supply chain.
Realising the positive signals related to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, otherwise known as the TPP trade agreement, as well as the thriving economic development of Vietnam during the year's end, more than 100 foreign indirect investors gathered on Thursday in Ho Chi Minh City to seek business opportunities. On this occasion, the Ministry of Finance and Vina Capital Group announced a number of sectors which Vietnam encourages foreign investors to join in the future, such as traffic infrastructure, energy, water supply, and wastewater management. That was treatment side. A ministry-level meeting between Vietnam's Ministry of Planning and Investment and China's National Development and Reform Commission kicked off in Beijing today. The Vietnamese delegation is led by Minister Bùi Quang Vinh, while the Chinese delegation is led by Vice Chairman of the Commission, Ninh Chi-Khiết. The meeting aims to assess existing Vietnam-China transport infrastructure projects and to consider possible options for collaboration between the two nations. The two sides will also discuss joint renewable energy projects. Moreover, 3 new joint task forces will be introduced, namely for infrastructure development, currency collaboration and coexisting maritime development. On October the 15th, Vietnam and Myanmar signed a memorandum of understanding on anti-corruption. This event helped boost the collaboration on anti-corruption between the two countries. The MOU also aims to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the two countries' diplomatic ties.
Myanmar adopted the anti-corruption laws in 2013. By February 2014, Myanmar's Commission Against Corruption were established. The process of globalization and economic integration might increase the frequency of corruption, especially corrupt foreign criminals.
For foreign criminals, we need cooperation between the countries involved. For example, the judicial authorities sign mutual legal assistance and collaborate when the criminals are found.
The memorandum clearly classifies the fields of this collaboration as human resource development, exchanging knowledge on activities against corruption, and organizing forums and seminars.
Myanmar's anti-corruption agency has been established for just a year. However, the agency has gained much real-world case experience. We need to enhance collaboration in the future to boost effectiveness. After the signing of the memorandum today, Vietnam will share with Myanmar our experience in anti-corruption. We will keep close contact even when our Myanmar partners return home.
Through collaboration, both countries can enhance the effectiveness of anti-corruption activities and prevent the spread of foreign criminals.
The Ministry of Information and Communications held a conference yesterday to resolve complaints and disputes over domain names and intellectual property. The event drew the participation of relevant ministries and departments, domain name registrars and Vietnam Lawyers Association and E-Commerce Association. More to follow.
Disputes over domain names often involve domain names overlapping with brand names and trademarks, as well as writers and the names of their works. This is due to the fact that international regulations considered Internet domain names and intellectual property two independent objects. When addressing the issues in Vietnam, there exist two different understandings, one from the Ministry of Information and Communications and the other from the Ministry of Science and Technology. The law on intellectual property defines overlapping domain names as an act of unhealthy competition which calls for administrative punishment.
In theory, domain names and intellectual property are two independent issues. Accordingly, domain names go to those who register first. Other issues related to intellectual property are to be solved under the law on intellectual property.
According to experts, in the coming time, when Vietnam joins the TPP, domain names and intellectual property will require further regulations.
There remains the question of what can we do if the domain name we want to register has already been claimed by unreal users.
In an effort to address disputes over domain names and intellectual property, the government has assigned the Ministry of Information and Communications and the Ministry of Science and Technology to cooperate in developing a consistent policy framework.
Moving on to some other news. Now, according to the Vietnam Steel Association, otherwise known as the VSA, influxes of low-cost and substandard steel ingots and iron sheets, particularly those from China, are dominating the market and taking a toll on domestic manufacturing. From January to August, Vietnam imported 13 million tons of steel worth nearly $6.4 billion, up 37.2% in volume and 11% in value. Up to 60% of this steel is of Chinese origin, and the figure is likely to rise in the future. To protect consumers and domestic manufacturing, Vietnam needs to devise a set of national standards to better manage imported iron sheets and steel. The VSA, together with firms such as BlueScope, China Steel, Sumikin, Ton Phương Nam and Ton Dong A, stressed the need to make a list of steps to test the imports, including the origin, trademark, certification and technical properties. Now, State Capital Investments Corporation, otherwise known as the SCIC, will divest 10 enterprises on their list of long-term holdings, including important names such as Vinamilk and FPT Telecom. This decision immediately caused excitement for the stock market. Existing investors see this as a positive sign to increase the independence of enterprises in the operation. More to follow.
Positive signs are acknowledged by investors when evaluating the dynamics intent of SCIC's business divestments. Shares of companies slated for divestment have recorded strong growth. Vinamilk stocks are recorded to have the highest increased value.
When SCIC holds 45% of Vinamilk's shares, it has the most powerful voice. Now, when SCIC sells its stocks to other investors, it will help provide a more transparent and fair decision to other stockholders. This will help Vinamilk choose the best direction for its development.
Besides Vinamilk, other companies like FPT Telecom or Vietnam National Reinsurance Corporation are on the list of SCIC's divestments, which could reach $3 billion.
We need to calculate the price of selling the stocks of companies on the divestment list. It might be difficult to sell a stock in the common market. Take Vinamilk as an example. The stocks should not be sold too low for some interest groups. SCIC should not sell too high as well. They need to calculate the price of the stocks so that the price matches the quality of the brand.
Opportunities are emerging for enterprises in the divestment group, SCIC, and foreign and domestic investors. However, all parties need to make clear the portion of ownership available for foreign investors and the amount of control investors will have over the operation of the listed companies.
The launch of the Hanoi Month of Discounts was hosted on Thursday, October the 15th as part of the Vietnamese People is Vietnamese Goods campaign. This is the 8th time the event has been held. This year the event attracts over 500 businesses from a number of sectors, including consumer goods, shopping malls and supermarkets. The month will feature 1,000 pop-up locations across Greater Hanoi. Discounts starting from 10% will be offered at these locations for items such as food, drinks and electronics. Moreover, the Golden Day event will see special offers of up to 50% from November the 14th and 15th. The Hanoi Month of Discounts will officially run from November the 1st to the 30th. So how's the Vietnam dong performing at the moment? Let's find out in our following charts. Still to come on VTV News, blood storage projects save lives in remote area. And later on, Miss Milk Cow Competition 2015 kicks off, promoting Vietnamese dairy industry. Stay tuned for more stories to come right after the break. For hospitals in remote areas, blood storage is extremely difficult. Hospitals often face a lack of blood and poor storage conditions. To solve this issue, many hospitals have established blood banks to provide blood for patients in critical situations or with rare blood types. What makes this project unique is that blood donations from this come from medical staff where these patients are treated. More to follow.
3 months ago, Phạm Thị Hoa was hospitalized in critical condition due to stomach bleeding. Blood donated from Hoa's family members and the hospitals was not enough. A medical staff in the blood storage project came just in time to save her life.
If we had not received blood from this member of the blood storage project, my wife would not be here today.
Cases like Phạm Thị Hoa's are not uncommon at Nghệ An Northwest Hospital, where Hoa was treated. The hospital was equipped with only about 10 units of blood. However, it soon received blood donations from more than 100 medical staff working there. They are all members of the blood storage project.
All staff in good health are eligible for the blood storage project. We are always ready to donate blood when we get calls from doctors in urgent need.
The blood storage project has helped save patients at many hospitals in remote areas of Vietnam.
This blood storage project is very effective because the source of blood is so close to patients in need. Doctors have more control in critical situations. It is especially helpful for hospitals in remote areas where access to other blood storage sources is limited.
To become a member of the blood storage project, volunteers must know their blood type and health condition and be ready to provide their information to hospitals in emergency situations.
Fishing groups at sea has proven to be an effective method for fishermen in Phú Yên province. By establishing fishing groups, fishermen can share information and support each other in difficult times. The story of how fishing associations can help fishermen in Phú Yên province is a good example for other regions to follow.
Fishing boat number 91179 has returned safely after its offshore fishing journey. The vessel's owner, Nguyễn Văn Trung, from Đông Hòa Commune, couldn't believe he made it home. His fishing vessel ran out of gasoline after 20 days at sea. He also ran out of ice to keep the fish frozen. He didn't have enough gasoline to get back to shore. At that moment, a miracle happened.
Luckily, we got support from Thu's vessel. They came just in time to save us.
Thu is a fisherman from the same village as Chung. Thu's vessel came just in time to provide Chung with 1,000 liters of gasoline and 300 boxes of ice.
Chung and I are in the same fishing group. We are also from the same commune. So when I heard about his situation, I came to help right away.
Currently, there are 130 fishermen and 14 fishing vessels fishing in groups in Đông Hòa Commune.
Fishermen in fishing groups support each other because they usually fish 100 to 300 nautical miles offshore. They support each other with resources such as gasoline, ice and food. They keep close contact and always get ready to help each other in emergency situations.
Offshore fishing is very dangerous. However, thousands of fishing vessels in the central part of Vietnam still head out to sea to earn a living. With the new method of fishing in groups, fishermen will benefit more from increased safety.
In related news, Government's Decree 89 passed to amend Decree 67 on fishery development will take effect from November the 25th this year. The decree is expected to resolve difficulties that arose during the implementation of Decree 67, including strengthening the maturity of loans for building steel boats with new materials. Previously, loan maturity was set at 11 years, creating a burden for fishermen. Now it is stretched to 16 years and fishermen do not have to pay off the whole package at once. Moreover, design costs for boats with a capacity from 400 horsepower will be supported 100%. A seminar on preserving and promoting cultural heritage in order to develop Vietnamese tourism was organized in Nha Trang on Thursday. At the seminar, experts discussed about how to promote cultural heritage in association with sustainable tourism development. Vietnam has many historical and cultural traditions which could attract tourists. However, their preservation and restoration have not received enough attention. The seminar is expected to positively affect tourism development in many of Vietnam's localities. A photo exhibition by photographer Nguyễn Á depicting đơn ca tài tử, a genre of traditional music unique to southern Vietnam, opened recently in Hanoi. The exhibition showcased 136 stories about 150 đơn ca tài tử artists from the south of Vietnam.
For the last 20 years, photographer Nguyễn Á has traveled to 21 cities and provinces throughout the country to take pictures of 150 artists. Aging from 8 to 80, they all share the same passions for đơn ca tài tử.
Since it was recognized as an intangible heritage by UNESCO, đơn ca tài tử has spread widely in many provinces. Đơn ca tài tử songs reflect human emotions, so photographer Nguyễn Á had to carefully watch us singing at many performances to record our real feelings in his photos.
Đơn ca tài tử or Southern folk music has been recognized by UNESCO for nearly 2 years. However, this kind of art hasn't taken root in everyday life. This exhibition is a chance for audiences to learn more about this special art.
I hope my book will be widely known by the public and bring đơn ca tài tử closer to life.
To get these lively pictures, photographer Nguyễn Á met and talked with many local artists. We encourage him to complete his photo book in praise of the traditional culture, lifestyle, and music of the southern Vietnam.
The Miss Milk Cow competition has been held for the past 12 years in Mộc Châu district of the northwest province of Sơn La. The competition attracts participation from many cattle raisers in the area. Let's find out more about this competition this year held on Wednesday, October the 15th in the following report.
Unlike the Miss Milk Cow competition of the last 11 years, the competition this year saw the attendance of more businesses, more judges, and especially more cows. 126 milk cows of different categories, from calves and weaning cows to dairy cows, showed more potential than the previous year. In order to prepare for the competition, households had to make great efforts to follow VietGap standards when raising their cows throughout the year. As a result, competition was high with many good entries.
I've tried hard. I believe that my cow will become Miss Cow. Either way, it is a chance for me to gain experience.
The result of the competition did not meet Huen's hope. The title of Miss Cow 2015 went to the cow of Lê Thị Thoa.
Over the past months, I have taken great care of my cow every day. A few weeks before the competition, I couldn't sleep. I believe my cow deserves the title.
For managers here, the most important things are highly quality milk and cooperation between cattle raising units and other parties. Support from over 100 enterprises in raising, milk processing, loans, and breedings gives motivation to raisers in the era of integration.
This is a good preparation for the ASEAN Free Trade Agreement and the TPP. We are trying to expand the scale from 32 cows per household to 45, similar to South Korea.
Mộc Châu Dairy Cow Breeding Joint Stock Company has set a target to increase productivity from 74.2 tons of milk to 8 tons of milk per milking cycle in the next few years. In addition, by 2030, 30,000 breeding cows will be given to raisers throughout the country.
So will be an umbrella or sunscreen for tomorrow? There's only one way to find out, through our updated weather forecast of selected cities around the world. That has wrapped up this edition of VTV News. Now do log on to vtv4.vn or youtube.com/VTV4Go for more of our content. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the last bulletin of the day.